We're live. Oh, I see you found it, Don Diva, huh? Sorry I'm late, guys. I was busy yelling at my children because they're homesick and they're in there on Fortnite. So, you know, so they're being crazy right now. Um, but so before we get started, I just wanted to say to everybody, we all know everybody needs to keep it positive in here. Um, Anybody wants to bring in any drama or whatever is going to get banned automatically. The stream is literally for Marie. It's about her story. Um, so that's what the focus is. So I'd appreciate everybody being respectful. Um, Anybody who has questions for me can message me after the stream. That's not a problem. But if you have questions for Marie, don't hesitate to type it in chat. If you can wait, like till towards the end of her story, that would be a little bit more ideal. But if you might not remember, just let me know. We'll write it down, or that way we can ask when she's all done. Um, oh, hey Nat, hey Sammy. Let me say hi to everybody before I
What's
miss.
up, everyone?
Hey CCP Sam, Samuel, Lisa, beautiful April, JFK, Cats, Sabby, Shauna. Oh, hey, Rockstar, you're here too.
Hey,
Blaze, Don Diva, Warbot. I think I got everybody else. I'm pretty sure. I think so. And Tech. Um, okay, yeah, I think I got everybody. So this is Marie. Why isn't my banner scrolling? I don't know if you guys can see my banner. Can you guys in the comments see the banner scrolling at the bottom of the screen? I don't know if I did that right. I had a special little message for Marie to scroll at the bottom, and I can't see it. So I don't know. No? Okay.
what's
Well,
up?
Marie, you can
Little crack,
start
brother.
if you want. Oh, there it goes, because I had to click on it.
There you go.
My bad. But it says, we love you, Marie. You got this. You're brave, resilient, and beautiful. No shame, no judgments. Well, you should now,
One,
Nat.
appreciate the fact Brock helped with this because as it, I'm emotional thinking about it because it's hard.
Yeah.
I've hid it in the closet for over 20 some odd years, past and all. Present, still working on it. The future, who the fuck knows? But
Right.
the past is the hardest because lately, for the first time in 33 years, I got that answer. And it took this time after knowing Brock for so long to be like, you know what? I have the right person for the right thing to do. I want to tell my story.
Oh, yeah. It's empowering, to be honest. It like helps you to heal in a different way. It's just,
Exactly. And it's like everybody goes through all kinds of things of abuse and any type of violence. And it's like, you don't think about it when you're young because you think it's normal raising. Our parents were raised like this. This is what we were hearing stories about growing up as people got beat, people dealt with this. Everybody just coped and buried it under the rug. I'm 33. I'm a survivor of childhood abuse, domestic violence, and childhood molestation. I've seen the dark side, and I don't want to see it go through anybody else. Found out last week through a nice little triggered memory. Somebody holding me down, beating the ever-living crap out of me. Call my mother. How much do you remember from my past, Mom? How much can you inform me on my youth? I could tell you plenty. Why? In foster care, was I beat? Yes. And you've suffered from infections to the point where you couldn't be changed or wiped. Your head to toe covered in bruises and scars. Find out the foster care system failed me, gave me to an abusive family. My family wanted custody back. My grandmother fought. My family fought to keep them from trying to adopt me, to the point that they starved me in foster care for the neglect of hatred. My family be somewhere nice, sending items, give to the kids. Visit my family, new scars would appear, new problems were appearing. Finally get to a safe haven thinking I'm home with my family. It just gets worse. Your grandparents are supposed to love you, nurture you, and be there for you. Mine wasn't. I had to learn. I suppressed the memory of being tormented in certain ways mentally. Stuff taken, beating for stuff I wasn't done. Be that child to be suffering throughout the night, standing in a corner for something you never did.
Right.
You think you have your family to turn there for love and to protect you, but it's the quite opposite.
Mm-hmm.
You don't realize the people that sit there and tell you they fight for you, love you, care for you, but it's the opposite. You're getting the treatment of, you're not welcome. We can't support you. You're too much to handle. How is a child too much to handle when you're supposed to guide them and be there? How do you look at your family member and tell them you gotta go because, I don't feel like giving up that extra space because you're messed up.
Right.
Can't live here because we can't financially support you, but we'll take in our other child who was carrying a child. You turn to your family to be at home, and I went through the fact of bouncing from home to home to home. No stability, no love, no care. Felt unwanted. Finally get to a point where after being institutionalized a couple times, find out who my father is. Now every little girl wants a daddy. Every little girl wants a daddy. My daddy took my youth. My daddy kicked me to the curb. My daddy touched me in ways I shouldn't have felt. The burning sensation of the pain. Being told it's okay. Daddy does it because he loves you. Daddy didn't love me. Daddy didn't know who I was. But after Daddy did what he did, you're not my daughter. Then you get his wife. You're a fucking scumbag and you're a retard. 2 months later, after I move out of my father's, it happens again. But this time by somebody I thought my family was trusting because they babysat me and my brother while my mom worked. I felt scared. Felt like I did wrong. Twice in 1 year. Couldn't turn to my family most times because they think you're crazy, or some of them don't want to hear your stuff. I shut down completely for weeks. I pushed away the people I was around. I didn't talk to my friends. The person I was seeing, I shut away from. I locked myself in a room for 2 weeks. Felt disgusted. Just kept taking anything sharp and just wanted to end. It took 2 weeks for me to finally go to my mother after I told a friend. Told her, This is what your boyfriend's nephew did to me. I don't feel right. I wanted to die.
Take your time.
Just thinking about all that time, I felt and thought maybe it was the way I dressed. It couldn't be. No. Maybe it's the way I look. No. Couldn't have been. I wore conservative clothing. Brock would know. Brock's seen how I dressed back then. I was conservative.
Mm-hmm.
My face, what's there to sit there and say that could have turned somebody that's way older than me on for them to do what they did? Can't blame myself for that. I felt for years it was my fault. Daddy did that. It was my fault. My mom's boyfriend's nephew did that to me. I was at a low, and I did actually overdose on a few things. I took over 30 medications to be found in a club bathroom floor, barely responsive. I was going through hell mentally. Didn't want to live. Didn't know where to go. I even got to the point once they had me in the hospital, I was so far gone. I told them my thoughts. I've had thoughts daily of taking cleaning liquids and drinking them because maybe it will wash everything off. Wash away everything that's been destroyed. I didn't feel like a woman anymore. I didn't feel like I belonged anymore. I didn't want to exist with the fact knowing I was a reason somebody did something. I thought about it so many times growing up, like after the abuse going on and then the molestation made it worse. And then it's like you turn to people and they're just looking at you like you're crazy. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to know about it because back then in the early 2000s, that's an okay thing for a lot of girls back then because that was their way of feeling like they were special. God, the early 2000 lifestyle, the teenage dreams, I was afraid of. I didn't want to be out there with every other girl with a boyfriend. I wasn't looking for the sex scene. I was looking for a life of solitude, stability, a home, a place where I belonged, a place where I didn't feel like everything about me was going to be judged because something that happened. Went to a high school, terrible kids back then. You open up about the smallest thing and somebody finds out, you're suddenly a rumor around the school that you provoked somebody to do something to you, or you're a laughing stock all of a sudden. I dealt with it in high school when one person found out and then the whole rumor went around the whole school to where I ended up cutting myself open in my school because of these people. I just couldn't believe like one person finds out one thing about you and all of a sudden you're judged because somebody did something to you that wasn't even your fault, but now you're a school rumor that's turned into the biggest slut because you had no control of something. I dealt with it for years, endured it, blocked it. Eventually moved on to where I ended up starting to have a life of a little bit where I ended up having my firstborn son, met my first husband. That right there in itself was hell because that was a domestic violence abuse. Mm-hmm. And if I told him anything about me, it was put online. He would blame me for the stuff that went on. And it got to the point where he just wouldn't hear it and didn't want to know anything. And if I try to open up, don't you got something better to do? Don't you got a life? Aren't you done talking about yourself for once? Don't you think you should just be in a psych ward for the rest of your life then if you have all these problems? If you didn't dress or look the way you did, I'm sure your father would never did what he did. The mental hell he put me through reminded me of stuff to the point where he would start grabbing at me and touching certain parts of my body that would remind me of the touches, and my skin would crawl, because in his eyes, that's an upper advantage of, I found a way to trigger something that's going to make her terrified and scared. I'm still going with those triggers till today to try to work through them. There's certain things that people will do around me, or a certain touch that will just be like, don't do it, don't do it, don't touch me. I have to go, and it will cause a panic attack, and I'll see the person all over again, and I'll see the scene, and then it just reminds me how helpless it was. I always thought growing up was going to be a good thing for some people, but it all I guess in life, it's a hit and miss on where your wheel of destiny lands of what can life dish that you could handle and overcome.
Right.
I spoke with family, a couple of them recently, because they asked. I explained, and I told them I'm no longer weeping. I'm now healing, because of the fact my one niece pointed out, God always gives those he thinks are the strongest the hardest task to overcome. Now, I'm so far from religion, but hearing those words made me think. The childhood abandonment, the abuse, the neglect, the molestation, to surviving all the domestic abuse throughout the years has led me to become the person I am today.
Right.
It pushed me forward to be like, I'm not that little girl anymore. I weep for the child who took on so much abuse. I weep for the old me who felt like she was destroyed from her innocence. The old part of me wants people to know they're not alone. And the only way we can overcome this is to stick together and survive. Be there. Be that lending ear. I don't want to see another person sit there in a rabbit hole because they think it's their fault. No, you aren't the cause. You didn't do it. Ouch. I wish so much back then that I had more people like I see today, doing more for the children, doing more to protect our teenagers from being stupid and finding those who do wrong to the kids anymore. I'm grateful for the fact of what people are doing with predator catching, and it's like you're now putting a face on the monsters that other girls have faced.
Right. I think that's partially why it's so important when we share our stories too, because it kind of puts, a face along with that story. You're able to kind of get it out and say, I've been there. I'm trying to prevent you from having to go through it as well.
Exactly. And it's like, I'm not even the first person in my family that actually went through this. It was some other family members who felt and dealt with this too. And it's like, nobody was there for them.
Wow.
I noticed a lot when it shows a side of this that's way more serious. This isn't just a live catch pops up and you watch some guy get humiliated on YouTube. There's so much more behind that.
Yes.
this is what is
Absolutely.
behind that, and it causes real trauma. That's what
Yep.
I want to focus on, and that's what I want to help with.
Yep.
And it does, it's like you sit there and you think, like, when my family member told me about what happened to her and her sister, you would think, like, this person, after what they told you, like, you would think some of the stuff that I was told would not even want a person to be here after that.
Right.
And when I was told this my whole life growing up with this one person that I avoided, I just couldn't think, how could somebody do that? Not just to one person, but to two. And not just one time, but multiple times over years. On top of doing something else to invite people in on it.
That's why we keep saying too, it's so important to be able to like take that stand and take our voices back, you know. It's like, you know, that when they take our voices, you know, from these traumas, they're gone for so long. And some of the things we bury so deep down, you know, purposely to try to not remember what happened, you know, to be able to move on um without thinking about it on a regular basis. You know what I mean? Um, so when bits and pieces start coming back or you're doing therapy and it comes back, it's like almost like a slap in the face, you know? You're like, oh my God, you know, did this really happen to me? You know? Um, and it's just so hard to deal with, especially as an adult, you know, after like, what'd you say, 20 years, you know? I mean, it's like, it is a severe slap in the face, you know? There's no other way to put it. There's so many parts of my story I stuck down on purpose, you know, but it's like I just didn't want to deal with it,
It
you
took
know?
it took all those years of finally admitting to myself it was time. It took
Hmm.
the time to realize after stories being told, after memory lapses, and I was like, so this is what really happened in my life. The things
Right.
I don't remember, somebody would bring up, and it's like, oh. And now, after all these years, I've started going to a PTSD therapy.
Hmm.
Great therapist. Love it. First time in years, someone's listening. No judgment.
Yeah.
And it feels great to have somebody listen to you and then listen from their point of view. And it's like she sympathizes, but she's always amazed every session we have. The change, yeah, the more look on the outlook on things. And it's
Hmm.
taken like 2 years now doing therapy to have somebody voice all how I feel and my concerns and so much more. It took me years to admit that I wanted that help because I
Right.
was always against the therapy thing because it was always write it
Hmm.
down, go for a walk, listen to music, call a family member, call a friend. Well, what do you do when you can't go outside because you're so scared that if you step out there, somebody's going to hurt you now?
Yep.
Can't always call a family member. I'm limited down to one person in my family. That's all I got. And they work all the time now. I
Right.
can't call friends because some of my friends don't even answer their phones. They don't know how to pick up and be like, hey, you called. Write it
Right.
down. You write it down, and then when you're writing it, you get so mad if you mess up one word, and then you just start taking the anger and frustration on the paper,
Yep.
listening to music, and it's like the music helps, but it's like there's a
Puts you right back in
inner
that spot
rage that
too.
wants to come
Hmm.
out and scream. It's like you want to go in the woods, scream it out, and let it go, and be like, I'm done. I'm freaking done with it all.
Yep.
It's taken all these years of my life to finally admit I wanted the help. I want
Right.
to overcome it. I want to get better. I want to be there to protect more. I want people to be able to come to me so I can sit there and be like, I hear you. I believe you. I know someone
Yep.
is here to love you still.
Right.
Like
That's the
that
biggest
was always
reason
the
why
hardest thing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the biggest reason why, this channel even became a thing, is because there are so many people that get told all the time that they weren't believed, as a child, especially. I mean, in my opinion, that's the worst. To tell a kid that they're not believed, when they say something like that, it's coming from somewhere. Um, they don't just say things like that out of their own
It's
head. Like,
worse
you
is
know what
like
I
when you
mean?
hear the words, I don't believe you, but it's worse when somebody looks at you and they know the person did it, but you're the
Mm-hmm.
scumbag to them.
Yeah.
You're the
Yep.
piece of shit. You're
Yep.
everything. And it's like, I was called that by somebody that should have been like a mother like figure to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because why? The insecurity and jealousy because, oh, 14 years later, you have a daughter pop up. I
Right.
wouldn't want to admit back then that my daddy was the biggest high school nerd and my mom was ashamed of that. Why would anybody want to know that you had a kid with a nerd back in the 80s and all that?
Right.
So my mom hid me for years, and it's like at 10 years old, I learned a name. 14, just got released from the psychiatric ward for a mental breakdown because I became suicidal from people at school.
Yep.
Then you find out who your father is, move in with them for not even a whole month, does what he does, wife knows, and all of a sudden you are the bad guy. You're the
Right.
issue because you're interfering now with her life because he didn't want her all of a sudden, but his daughter looked good enough for it.
Yep.
And it hurts. And it's like when people do that, it's like nobody's going to believe you. I don't care who believes me. I believe
Right.
me because I was there. I
Absolutely.
was the little girl that you were supposed to be protecting, and you want to sit there and degrade me for something
You
that's
lived
not
it.
my fault.
Yep.
I didn't ask to be touched. I didn't ask
Right.
for my virginity to be stolen.
Yep.
I wanted to be
Nobody
a
does.
daddy's girl. I wanted my father for the first time in my life. But after
Yep.
that, my mom will tell everybody, I can't trust men no more like that in my life. I
Yeah, it's
can't look
hard.
at another person to be like, I want you as a father figure. But I'm too scared. I've been let down before.
Yep.
Everybody I've let close as a father has ran away from me. And it hurt. I looked at my one grandfather who raised me with my grandmother as my father for him to turn on me because suddenly I wasn't good enough. I reached out to my father recently because I wanted for years that closure of the DNA to just get it out, done. You want to deny me? You want
Right.
to sit there after you did? I want just this one closure. He admitted
Yep.
to a very close friend of mine I've known since my kindergarten years. Asked her, how did she know me? Told him we went to school together, always got kicked out of class.
Mm.
Says right to her, that's my daughter. But you're going to tell me now, when I was 19 and 20 years old, I wasn't your daughter because I told you I wasn't going to send you a picture because daddy messages. Why don't you send daddy a picture to help him load his laptop up? You look at those messages and you're like, you're supposed to be my father.
Right.
A father should love his daughter, but not sexually like that.
Absolutely.
I couldn't even stand to even be online anymore at that. I literally wanted to get rid of everything social media and move out of the area because he lived right up the road from my grandmother's home. Knowing how close he was, I was ready to go and rage on him. To be like,
Right.
you really want to know how I'm going to help daddy hold up his laptop? Because it's going to be daddy in a body bag.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take from you what you stole from my life. I'm going to make
Yep.
you hurt for causing me so much trauma. I can't look at people the same.
Yep.
I can't even look at him without feeling like I just want to rip my skin off and throw it at him and be like, this is yours. But it's like he admitted in a letter, like not asking anything, acknowledging nothing about me again. And I took that as the closure. I was like, you admitted who I am. That's it. I don't want nothing outside of you. I was like, thank you for the fact in life you have instilled in me that's never trust another father figure again.
Yeah.
My mom's been married multiple times, and each time she's gotten married, I push that person away. I cannot accept them. I do not want them close to me. I don't want them near me like that.
Hard to.
It is, because it's like I wanted a father my whole life, and he showed me the complete opposite of what every little girl expects. I didn't get what every little girl expects. And I've learned to be okay with that now.
Right.
All I've ever sat there nowadays is I look at my fiance, I look at my daughter's father, and I always ask them just to do the one thing, is to protect the children from scumbags like that. I don't think they want to run into two men protecting two little ones in this home, because there's not going to be any mercy if you try to touch either one.
Right.
And
That'd be the first thing
already,
I'd say too is,
you come in my home, you touch my children, you meet my bat burgundy, or you're meeting two grown men in my doorway, with one with the shovel and the other with the body bag.
Yeah.
Because it'll be a cold day in hell when somebody comes around and does to my children what I went through. Because I wouldn't want to ever hear my little girl coming to me that it happened to her. Because I want her to know she's protected here. No one's ever going to touch her here. It's already crazy enough looking out in this world, and you see the stories of kids being kidnapped, the sex trafficking of children, more stories of children being molested by a family member or somebody random that just came around the family. Kids deserve to be protected. And us victims who are survivors are the voice to sit there and let them know we're here for them. We'll protect them. As survivors, we should always be standing up together, sticking together, doing what we can. I've always offered everybody a safe haven, no judgment. My home, show up for coffee and a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk, something's really getting you to where you're at this point, something that happened to you that traumatized you is really getting to you, come to my door. I'll have a pot of coffee on. Can't make it down? Phone call, message, video.
Yeah.
Before something you do that's stupid, you're not alone.
Agreed, Ghost.
You're doing so good, Marie.
I was just gonna say that, like, she's amazing.
You've been nervous
I'm trying.
the whole week. But you were.
I have been. I don't usually talk about this stuff, and it's like Brock's known me. I've talked to his girlfriend April, who's been amazing lately to be like in conversation with, and it's like between Brock's support for 20 years after knowing me through a friend of his, and it's like he knows the trauma I went through because I let my ex tell him Brock was around for some of it.
Right.
And he's known the fact that it's like every time he'd see me, it's like, I'm not good, Brock. I'm not good, because, you know, this is what's haunting me. This is what's eating at me. And it's like with things that pop up, and it's like, you know, I've pent it up for so long that it's like I've fought every demon in my head to be like, nobody gives a fudge. Nobody wants to hear that shiz. Who gives a crap? Somebody's just going to be like, well, I had it worse. And it's like, I don't care who had it worse.
Right. It's
we
not
all
a competition.
Suffered some kind of trauma. It's like, I wanted a competition. Hold on. I got a freaking roof to go play on right now. Let's see who gets the biggest bone broken then. If we're going to play contests, I'm never going to compete with anybody for what they went through. I understand it could be the worst thing than anything. I'm still going to be like, I'm here.
Yep.
I don't want to compare lives.
That's ultimately what matters the most is, like I said, it's not a competition. But just knowing that there are people who are there that can relate to you, it's not my trauma's worse than your trauma. Every last one of us survivors, our trauma is the worst for us. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, each person's trauma is terrible in its own form, no matter how bad it was, no matter, in my opinion, it's all fucking, it's disgusting. It's trauma.
It is.
I mean, we're all going to feel our own way about what we've gone through. We process things differently. We, handle it differently. And so it's like, I've ran into quite a few people who do the same thing where, it's, oh, well, I've been through it for years, and it's like, gotta one up you, you know what I mean? But it's like,
exactly. And it's
I
like, that's the thing nowadays is everybody wants that little competition of who had it worse. And it's like, you know what? It went worse in your ways because that's your trauma, and it went worse in my way because that's my trauma. I'm not going to sit there and argue with you over the trauma issues. We're both going to find ways to cope and get through this and work as a team to support each other. It doesn't matter what little bit of the trauma is or how major. It's a trauma in the life. We 1,000%. All get affected with our own trauma in our own way, no matter how good or bad. It could be the most smallest thing out there.
Right.
Even if, like, say somebody got an fender bender. That's a trauma to them because what if that sits there and triggers something on them now that they're afraid to be in a car?
Yeah.
It's like, I can relate to that a bit because I've been in fender benders. I've been in accidents. I like cars now? No. But I sit there and I cope with it. I deal with it. And when I deal with my mother. My mother has anxiety driving and all that. And it's like, we cope our own ways. And it's like, she has to usually have somebody in a vehicle with her so it's not as traumatizing for her because she's knowing there's another person in the vehicle to help her through it.
Yeah.
My fiance works with me with my trauma from being in accidents and stuff, and he'll be like, you got this. You're doing good. And inside I'm screaming, but outside I look calm. But it's like, I'm getting through that because of whatever. Like, I could be you could have no cars in front of me while he's driving and I'm freaking out, like, please don't slow down. No, back up. Nope. You're freaking out. Like, don't do that.
Right.
Just like when he listens to music, he does tap on the brake to mess with me. And it's like, nope. I'm going to get out of the car. I'm just going to walk then.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I see
I'll walk the rest of the way
to happen. Exactly. It's like everybody has those small traumas, no matter big, small, whatever. It's like we all face it and deal with it. But it's how you go about with getting that help and reaching out. And are you reaching to the right people? Because not everybody's going to care about the situations you've been through. It depends on the people you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
I've did the stupid thing growing up. I surrounded myself with a bunch of idiots. Not even going to lie. I had a lot of dumb friends that would sit there, be like, nah, you're good. Here, drink more. Yeah. Go get stupid. That's going to help you recover.
Right.
I was a raging alcoholic thanks to my friends because here, have a drink. It'll help you cope. You won't feel as gross anymore.
Right.
No, that's not the type of people you want around. You want the friends that are going to answer their phone and be like, 3:00 in the morning, I'm here. What's wrong? You want those type of friends. The ones that are going to pop in your messages and be like, are you okay today? Have you taken care of your needs? Did you do some self-care? And it's like, I hear those words all the time from my therapist. And that's the one thing she'll always remind me on top of dealing with everything, self-care, because it helps.
Mine too.
Take care of yourself a little bit. It's like
mine knows
everyday reminder.
She's the same way. She's the same way. She's like, she knows I don't put myself before anybody. I don't even put myself on that list. And so she's like, I've gotten to
Exactly.
a point where if I don't ask you every week, did you do any self-care this week? And are you going to do some for this week coming up?
Yes.
You know, then you're probably not going to do it. I said, well, let's be honest, because even though you asked, I'm probably not gonna. But because I have so much
Exactly.
other shit to deal with, you know what I mean? And like I got stuff going on with my daughter right now and her being in the hospital and stuff. So it's like my mind is elsewhere. I have to focus on other shit. I have to be okay for that. I have to have a calm mentality, to be able to sit on the phone with her and go up and see her and stuff. So it's like I'm just barely hanging on by a thread right now dealing with that in itself. So it's if I take time out for myself to do any self-care, like, even instead of just hopping in the shower, it's like sit and take a bubble bath or something. I'm like, no, it's too long of a time. Like I feel like I'm being selfish,
Exactly.
It's like,
Exactly. It's
no,
that
like I don't
mom
got
guilt
time
that
for
eats
this.
up at
Yeah.
you because it's like
Yeah.
you're so busy trying to make sure everybody else is good. You don't remember to take care of yourself, or you're backburnering yourself like, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. And
Yep.
I get it every therapy session. And right in the beginning, did you do some self-care for yourself right before we hang up? Make sure you give yourself self-care. You need that time to reflect and work on mom, because mom needs that break too. You've got to remember, in order to run the household, mom needs to be taken care of too. And it's like, I take one day out of the week. Every Monday, downstairs below us is closed for the day. Nobody's working downstairs. So I take that day as mom's day.
Right.
And I'll start in the morning after I get my daughter to school. After this one goes down for his naps, I take a couple hours to myself. I give myself a soothing bath or shower. I do some nice little things for myself. Like I'll make a fresh pot of coffee with my favorite creamer. I'll put on my favorite music, and I'll just drown the world out right there while he naps. I give myself those 2 hours. And it's like, it's annoying some days to me, because it's like, is this too much time to myself?
No.
Is it time to go take something with the kids and do it? It's like I put my kids, my fiance, my daughter's father, and everybody else above me. And it's like, I'll go throughout the house. Do the kids really need? I'll go do this for the kids.
But that's like the biggest problem is we put ourselves on the back burner so much that by the time we've been done taking care of everybody else, there isn't time left for ourselves. There isn't energy left for ourselves. There is no, you know what I mean? There's no taking that moment for us,
Exactly. It's like,
I mean,
we
half
don't
the
put
time
that
when I
reflection
continue
time for our
going,
needs.
exactly.
Yes, it's like you want to continuously go, and it's like by the end of the day, once you get everything settled, you're just like, there's not enough time in the day to do everything you need to get done, or it's so late in the night, you're just too tired, you can't even think about taking care of your own needs.
Oh yeah, because you're running on steam the other half of the day. You know what I mean? It's like by the time 7 o'clock comes, I'm ready for bed. I'm like rushing the kids, like, come on, like my back is killing me, my knee is on fire, like I'm friggin' exhausted, So like my daughter's always saying, she's like, every year for your birthday, we say we're gonna at least go have a drink or something, and you blow it off because you're like, oh, we'll do it another night. I'm tired. She's like, but every night you're tired. She's like, you're literally 41 and you act like you're 82, being like, I gotta go to bed at 7:30 at night. I'm like, no, 9:30 is my limit. I literally, she's like, it's the same thing, Mom.
My 8-year-old daughter's new thing is, if anytime I start getting her and her brothers ready for bed, must be nice to stay up. You're 8, I'm 33. I'm not even done with the housework yet. I still have to get you pajamas, your brother's diaper change,
like I'm not staying up to hang out.
It's like, where do you? It's like she had some calls the other night to look me dead in the face, and I'm trying to get this one to sleep because he's teething. He got his first tooth right now. So he's a little hell on wheels right now. And she looks me right in the face and goes, must be nice to stay awake with 8. And I'm just like, I need a mental break from you right now. Are you serious?
Like, do you want to stay up with 8 and then? Because I'll go to sleep.
I'm sorry. I just couldn't believe it. I looked at her. I was like, I want to go to bed. I put you two to bed 2 hours ago, and you're still both up. I want mommy time to just unwind from your nasty attitude. And it's like when I hear her with her attitude, it's like, oh, it's that 8-year-old testing the water phase. I'm like, mom's never gonna get that time to calm down because this one's gonna keep testing my buttons.
Yep.
Like she's
like no
one
ease
for
up on
a
that.
hell on wheel.
Sure.
No, and
that's because they're finding themselves too at that age that they're like, you know, like let me see what I can get away with right now, so I know what I can and cannot do in the next coming years.
And she's been doing really good at pushing those buttons because she's not just doing it to me. She's doing it to her dad. She's doing it to her stepdad. Anybody that crosses her path. And it's like there's things she'll throw in your face now and then. Like if you take a moment to do something, like she got mad at me the one time because I told her I was on the phone with my therapist. She's like, why do you get somebody to talk to? I'm like, because I deal with people like you every day. My poor therapist is like, oh my gosh. And I was like, hold on, I got to go deal with a crotch screamer. Can I put you on mute for one moment? And she's like, oh my God. I was like, come here, demon spawn. I'm like, you want somebody to talk to? Talk to me. But you're not going to talk to me like that. Right. I was like, mommy's trying to get out of a dark place to raise you right now. Mommy's facing those inner demons inside of her head that were just engulfing her. I was like, do you really want to sit there and go off on me for talking to somebody to help mommy when I'm helping you as well by growing up?
Right.
Or her new thing is you're being mean because you get people you get to be on the phone with. Be happy I'm socializing, kid, because I could be right by your side poking you.
Right.
That's also something
I've already been called.
Don't really look at either. Is that like there's another side to it? Everyday life, those demons are in your head, and you deal with every single thing that you do. It's
Can I have that back?
Once in a while memory, literally every second of every day for some people.
Right. It is too. I mean, and it's hard to even face them every day, but it could be something, a small trigger, you know, a smell, the look of something, you know, the taste of something, just a color. I mean, and then it's like you're in that mindset, and it takes forever to get out of that mindset.
It does.
I mean, I could sit on the phone with somebody for a couple hours and attempt to get out of that mindset. But it's like the second I'm off the phone, it's like I'm right back in that mindset, you know? So my go-to thing has been to clean when I'm like that, because I'm so busy, you know, physically, but I'm mentally like, where does this gotta go? What can I, you know, can I reorganize this somehow? It does help to get out of my head, but it's like the second I slow down, I have a hard time sleeping, you know.
You're getting overwhelmed with everything all at once. Again, it's like you can't just shut it off like a switch.
Yep. And it's like that, you know, that's the darkness that hovers over you that literally says to you repeatedly, like, they don't give a shit, you know, they don't want to hear it, you know, they don't believe you, you know. I just started getting to the point that I'm like, I don't care if they don't believe me. I don't care if they don't want to hear it. I don't care, you know, if they're not listening.
Exactly.
I'm going to shout until the fucking roofs fall off, you know. If it's going to help another person to maybe prevent their kid from going through it, or help them to, you know, find their voice, so be it, you know. But that's what I remind myself of all the time. Even if it's just helping one person, it is what it is. I mean, that's one person more that was helped than there was yesterday, you know?
Exactly. I'd rather see somebody being helped than watch them being in a dark, dark little area. I'd rather a person admit, like, hey, I do have this problem. Some things are a trigger, because some people could recognize the trigger, to have somebody avoid triggering said trigger.
Right.
I had triggers where he pinned me down just playing, and all of a sudden memories came back, and I was like, whoa, what the hell? call my mom, crying on the phone to my mom, like, I need to know what happened in my past. Was this true? Why am I seeing something? And it's like my brother, I went over my mom's on a holiday. My one brother looks at me. Did you know when you were younger, when you were living at Graham's, she treated you like Cinderella? And I'm just sitting, I'm like, wait, what? Huh? I thought those were jokes back then. I'm sitting there and I put my dish down and it pops in my head like, oh my God. Watching the fact I was doing everybody's dishes, I was cleaning up after their youngest child, and then getting punished for their child, having things that were mine taken away and given to her. And I would get punished all the time for whatever she would do. And it was like, oh my, wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap. It's like some things were so suppressed that I would have never thought of it. Can you not with my cup?
It's like you kind of train your brain in a way to think of it as a bad dream you had, or, you know, you might have seen it in a movie somewhere or something. And it's like, maybe it wasn't something that happened to me. It felt like
a video in my head. Like it felt like it was something I seen on TV somewhere. And then it's like, I remember looking on a family video of like, I'm getting yelled at for calling a family member a certain thing because this family member doesn't feel I'm really a family member because I'm in the foster care system. You're going to get mad at me as a child for calling a family member, raising me mama when, they're my grandmother, but that's my title to them is they're my mama. And it's like the way she was treating me in this video, she's grabbing at my arm, she's keeping me away from certain people in the family. And it's like, why are you treating me so bad when I never did anything to you? I'm younger than you by like many years. Like Medusa, slow your ass down. I'm not different. I'm a family member. Hello.
Yep.
Why are you treating me so bad? Because it's like, you were not planned in our family. You were not really one welcome. And it's like, cool. I don't want to be part of the family then.
Right.
I'd rather deal with the fact of being pushed away from my family than being a part of it because there was too much drama, too much he said, she said. Everybody wants somebody's attention. Everybody thinks they're better than everyone in my family. I don't want a family like that. I want a family that's going to be there for you no matter what. And it's like this family member's son is my cousin who's way older than me. And it's like, I talk to her son daily because that's my cousin.
Right.
And he's always been right there as a family member, no matter what I went through or who I was around. He was always there in my corner. He was there for me. And it's like one bad thing because you are put in a certain system and this person's going to dub you like this. And it's like, it's not my fault I got put in foster care. You could blame the retards that called children and youth making up a lie to have me taken away when I'm 7 months old. What's a 7-month-old going to do that's so wrong? That children youth has to show up. What did that child do?
Yep.
And it's like, I always heard the words, your life's what you make it and everything else. Did I choose to get treated like I did as a child, to get the abuse, the neglect? Yeah. Did I choose to have the infections that were on my body because the doctor did not want to report abuse so the foster family could still just pay him under the table while I get neglected by medical treatment? Was it my fault from getting kicked out home to home because I was an unwanted person throughout my life? No. Was it my choice to go get molested? No. Was it my fault that I fell for a guy that was supposed to treat me good that didn't? No. Because you don't see that at the beginning. You're blind. You're young. I was 19, dumb and stupid. And when I had my second kid, I was like, I guess I'm settling.
Plus, they do the honeymoon phase. They do the honeymoon phase shit. You know what I mean? So everything is beautiful in the beginning.
There was no honeymoon phase with that man. 3 months into a relationship, you think after he's done grabbing you and he's trying to be all nice to you, waits till after your birthday, which is Christmas. After your birthday, we're going to go get you a ring. Huh? What? I didn't know I was marrying you. I didn't know I wanted to get married to a person who's laying his hands on me. But because I was pregnant with my second child, I wanted my kids to have a family.
Right.
Married him. Biggest mistake. A lot of freaking trauma. Had my head bashed on walls, phones taken away, moved me out of the city away from my family where there was nobody to protect me. If I got on the phone with a family member, oh, you can't talk to them right now. You got stuff to do.
Right.
What am I doing? You got to make dinner. I'm hungry.
Yep.
I didn't know my forehead said bitch on it.
Yeah. That's literally
and it's like,
how it
I
feels.
left it at some point. And it's like, I did leave him before.
It takes
I
a lot
moved
of
away from
strength
the area.
to
It
actually,
did. And it's like,
build up before you can
I
leave
had to
an
call my
abusive
family
situation.
member to reach out for that saving grace. I called out to my mother after I had my third child. And I was like, I can't do this no more. I don't want to be dead. I don't want to find out he's done something to one of the kids out of anger. It's like, I don't want to end up finding out I'm dead in my own head somewhere, or I'm in a coma because he did something that was, well, put me in that state of mind. It's like he's already put so many marks on me in the past, blamed me, and then decided to just isolate me to the point where I couldn't even talk to anybody, and would always put me down. It was like I was always told by people I was looking by family. Certain friends were like, oh, you're pretty. And then it's like, him, you're only with me because nobody else will marry you because you have kids.
Yeah, I hate that baggage shit, the way they make you feel like you'll never find anybody else better than me. Nobody else will take you. It's like,
he really thought nobody was going to accept me because he throw in my face my past, my mental health, because I do have a pretty big file. And man, am I a nightmare from what therapists and hospitals say, thanks to their nuthouse diagnosis is. It's like he'd use every little thing against me. And it's like, it was to the point I was just ready to just, well, when you have a car enthusiast for a person and they're under their car, you just want to kick that jack from underneath them and let the car fall. That's pretty much how he had me feeling. It was like, in his eyes, I wasn't good enough no more because I was damaged goods. I'm somebody that couldn't be loved. Somebody nobody would accept because of all the issues I was dealing with mentally and coping with, and then trying to realize, like, at 23 years old, I already had 3 kids, but he would throw it in my face about the ones I've lost prior.
Right.
And it's like, now, being separated legally from him for about 10 years now, anytime I would end up pregnant after my 8-year-old, because when I got pregnant with her, you're a whore, you're a slut. I moved on and left you because you would not stop cheating and laying your hands on me.
Right.
I'm not a whore. You've had 4 women already move into our home with you, in and out in front of our 3 children.
Yeah.
I'm not a whore. I'm moving on. I'm sorry I ended up getting pregnant, but it happens. It is what it is. And it's like, anytime he would find out from anybody if I was expecting, oh, just can't keep your legs closed. No wonder why your dad really liked it. Bro, don't go there.
Right.
And it's like, after my daughter, I had 4 losses in a row. And it took a while to get this one, but it's like, when he found out about this one, this little man, oh, congrats on your son. Must be nice to replace your kids. I'm not replacing my kids.
Right.
I'm missing my kids because of you.
Yeah.
I'm loving the ones I have now to make them strong. Yeah. You're teaching our children hate for the other parent while I'm trying to coexist with you. But I can coexist with my 8-year-old daughter's father, but I can't coexist with you.
Yeah.
Are you done? You done, mister?
He's like, not yet. Thank you, Brad.
Right. But it's like, after all those years of finally getting all of that done with, I stopped dealing with men like him. Yep. I got out of a bad relationship 3 years ago with my ex because it was going nowhere, and it ended really, really bad, where hostage situations for 3 hours are not fun.
Right.
When you become one of those victims of a hostage situation because they're raging because you want to end it and you did something wrong, knowing you did it wrong, to get out of the arrangement you're in, it's like, you don't want to be with somebody who's going to sit there and not listen to you be supportive, or discuss the issues out, or if they're so angry they lay their hand on you multiple times. It's like, no. And it ended to the point where it's like, before he left, there was a knife being waved in my face, being chased, because he wanted to make it look like I did something to him. It took to the point where I'm cowering in a room with my daughter, where she hears this person saying, I'll burn the apartment down with you and her in it. And all you can sit there and say is, you're hiding there trying to get a hold of somebody, to get a hold of 911 to help you, but nobody's really answering.
Yeah.
Because you know, if you call 911 on your phone, they're going to charge at you and break it.
Yeah.
I had to fear with my daughter behind a bed, hoping we'd make it out alive each situation. And it's like, I finally got out of there and bettered myself. And it's like, now, baby losses, I'm okay with that. My children are in a better place than right here. They weren't meant to be here. Mm-hmm. Doing more therapy and finally getting that part of me fixed. Raising my kids, teaching them there's love. And they'll always have somebody.
Right.
And now I'm done hiding. I'm done being afraid. I'm tired of people thinking I'm crazy for my story and thinking I should have just stopped ages ago, because it doesn't define me. But it's like, that's what made me who I am. My past built me up till today. I could look people in the face and be like, if I could do it, you could do it.
Right.
It's like, if I found ways to cope, I'm sure you could find any way you can cope with things.
Yeah.
And
everybody copes different. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody copes different, but if they, like I tell people all the time, you just got to look at different things like hobbies or different skills you have and find something that's comfortable and, calming for you. It's not easy. I mean, I went probably 3 years going through a bunch of different shit, trying to find the right things for me, to utilize when I'm in that headspace, like now I know, even if I take walks with the boys, it's like, as long as I'm taking a walk, that helps. The cleaning helps. I've gotten into the habit of liking to cook more just because I'm, in that headspace.
It's so something with your hands, and you're occupied at all times. You're staying active mentally and physically. So, you could just drown things out to help get over something for that moment of peace.
Yep.
You just got to stay positive.
Yeah.
And that's something I know
thing.
Now too, Marie. You're way more optimistic and positive now. I've known you for like 20 years. So
You've seen me in dark times, stupid times, random crazy times. Okay, well, one crazy time we'll talk about now is my bunny moment. The bunny.
Keep laughing.
Why? Why? Because you know what? I'm that person that sits there and goes, bunny. I'm distracted in life. Hello.
Right.
It's like, I'd rather look at things now in a different note than what I used to think, because it's like, I'm not that person anymore. And it's like, I'm seeing things in a different perspective. I'm opening up more to people. I'm no longer just, gonna shy away. It's like, no, I need to speak. I want to get it out. I'll go and if anything, if my mom wasn't working, my mom would swear to you, I'd blow up her phone and be like, Mommy, I need someone to talk to. Mommy, you won't guess what? Guess. And then there was those random times with, like, in the middle of the sentence, I stopped track. What were you saying? I don't know. What was I talking about again? Mommy, I need advice. Mommy, I can't do this with your grandkids. Mommy, I'm always blowing my mom's phone up. It's like, okay, I'm not going to go in a dark place. I'm going to go drive my mom crazy now. And it's like, my mom tells me all the time, like, how are you going to cope without me around all the time if I'm working now? I'm still going to blow up your phone. No, you're not. Yes, I am. Because I have questions I need to have answers to. Your grandchild is being a butthead today. You must authorize on the phone to your grandchild. Mommy, I can't adult today. I'm not adulty enough. That's me. I'm now at the point where it's like, I'm not hiding. I'm now recovering. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm looking at ways to get questions answered. Here, have that spoon. That was not as loud. Here, have the plastic one too.
He's like, I'm having a good time. Just drumming away.
Yes, he is. So,
but yeah, it's much better to not hide it. We'll definitely make it like a point to hide it and you know, act as if things are okay 24/7. It's like eventually,
that's
you
not
know,
healthy.
we got to get to the terms that we have to face it, you know, one way or another.
Exactly. It's not healthy to sit there and keep it in anymore because it's eventually going to eat and eat and eat. And it's like it can either drive you to go get the help you want, or it's going to lead you to where you're in a casket. Right. You're going to tip the cup over, joke butt.
Yeah, I'm so used to doing the little, you know, I call it the little princess smile and wave, like everything's fine. I'm good, you know. I'll be good, you know. But it's like
you'll learn to put that little mask up and be like, it's the queen. I'm okay. Everything's fine. I'm good. I'm good. And then it's like as soon as the doors close, you're like, I want to punch the walls, the screen, the window, and the next thing that walks past me.
Exactly. Exactly. There's very few people who know when I'm really not okay, and they're like, no, but are you okay though? Like, I know you're okay, but are you okay?
Nope.
It's like
it's like those ones that truly get you. You appreciate, like, you know, I'm covering up something right now. You know how I am. You know there's a lie behind that. Okay.
Right.
You are so instrumental. I'm so amazed. Keep it up. Beat to your own
He's
drum
like, I'm gonna be a drummer.
I'm okay.
He's ready to be a drummer now. The rest of us are enjoying your music too, Aiden. So go for it, dude. It's okay to show emotion and be genuine with feelings. We all deserve.
Right, mister? Everybody deserves somebody right there at all times.
Agree, Sam. Yeah.
That's what we're here for, Marie.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Like I said, I've appreciated the fact Brock's been around for as long as he has, tolerating my crazy ass. Knowing I have been an emotional roller coaster. I'm probably more fun on a roller coaster than any of the amusement parks, but they're big roller coasters. I think I got them beat because my mood swings go from I'm good. Oh no, mental problem. Going down. Oh look, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It looks great outside. Oh, we're going. Oh shit, there's a mental break. Oh, downhill again. It's like I guess it's like in this household, everybody sits there and says, to deal with me, you got to spin the wheel of what emotion I'm going to go through. I'm that wheel of emotion. What one is going to pop up today? Oh, asshole too. I'm on it. I could wake up as an asshole right away and be like, all right, the wheel said this in my head, so we're going with this.
Right.
What's your problem? I woke up this way. I don't know.
Right.
There's just something wrong missed in the world. I can't cope with everything right now because it's overstimulating me. It's getting to me.
Right.
And it's like
this this is just the version of me you're going to get today, whether you like it or not.
Exactly. And it's like I could give people the assholeness in the morning, and it's like all of a sudden my mood swings going up, and it's like, is your bipolar okay? Are you having a PTSD moment?
Right.
I don't know what the hell I'm having. Are you having a schizo going on? I'll let you know when I go talk to myself. What do you mean? I'm going to go talk to the mirror.
Yeah. We're having a community meeting.
See where I'm going.
We're having a community meeting. You're not invited.
It's the city council getting all together right there. It's that grand council of like, all right, which one of you said this was nominated for today's event? Oh, depression, you put that vote in? All right. Oh, anxiety, you want a little bit too? Oh, frustration, you're going. Oh, shoot. She's having a mental breakdown. Flashback trigger. Hold on, we're coming for you.
Right.
New build. We're not just going to be emotionally fucked.
Exactly.
It's like you don't know some days because it's like, oh, you think you're fine mentally. Then it's like, oh, never mind. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. He's like, huh? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's like, I'm out.
Right. Whatever you say, Mom.
Shoot, that's like my daughter when she sees I'm in a certain mood. Mom, are you okay? I don't even know, kid. It's okay,
Right.
Mom. I don't know how to show my emotions either. Girl, you're more emotional than I am because you could be fine 1 minute, come home from school, I'm here in tears for no reason.
Right. Yep.
It's like, holy hell, I understand. You care about mommy and you love mommy, but you worse than I am with your emotions, kid. You get a little bit of a whew, and I don't know what way to go with you.
Yeah, I was gonna say at that age, it's every emotion, built into one outburst,
She has literally become this small ball of pop, and it's like, there's days she's loving, she's sweet, you want to just cuddle her. She's this ball of love you, mommy. And then there's days like, the devil's in that room. Let me go call a priest before we walk in there. Because she's on a rampage. She's going she's going full on Reagan from The Exorcist on this moment.
She's an 8-year-old. You know that, right?
She's 8.
Well, I was gonna say
8. That's the problem. It's like when I look at my daughter, I sit there, I'm like, I wonder what's going on mentally in her head. And it's like, I know there's been a lot going on in her head between like mommy, daddy not together anymore. And mommy's trying to get better to be better for her. Or it's like moving and it's like changing of things around her. She becomes so emotional. And it's like, she does have a PTSD trigger because of the fact, like her father and I, when we were together, very toxic relationship for 6 years. She got used to isolating because of all the yelling and screaming and fighting because of it. And it's like when somebody yells at her, boom, she shuts down. She's gone. Yeah. She's out of the room. She's in her room hiding. Yep. She shuts down for like the next few hours. And it's like, I could go in, talk to her, but it's like, I'm fine, Mom. No, you're not fine.
Yeah.
I promise, Mommy, I'm fine. You're not fine. But when you need me, you could come get me. Mommy will be either in the kitchen like she usually is or hiding in her bedroom away from reality for a bit. And when she's ready, she usually does. But there's days like we cannot figure it out, like what goes on up there with her because she's just emotional about every little thing anymore since the whole thing with her father and I. And it's come to the point where now it's like, she's battling her own demons because now she has that. She's now the big sister. She's not a baby no more. And it's like she gets angry a little bit more about things. And it's like, okay, I know where this is going. I am the oldest of 4 freaking siblings, of 5 kids. I got my brother and sister through my mom, and I got 2 brothers from my father. I'm the oldest. I'm like, I know where this is going. It's because now you are no longer the baby. And the baby has to get more attention. And it's like, she does lash out on it. And it's like, she tried to revert a couple times, like, oh, I want a bottle. No. I want a Brinkie. No. And it gets to the point where she does get overwhelmed. And it's like, she's been offered to go to my mother's anytime. She needs just time to herself with family. Yep. She has my mother as an option, or if I ever needed, I'm sure her grandmother would have no problem taking her brother so I can give her a day to her.
Yep.
And it's like, I want her to know, it's like, you don't got to be this way. You could calm yourself, come get me, and we'll be golden.
Yep. That's what I do with my boys too. Sometimes they'll go to my mom's off and on, like one or the other, just so I can have some alone one-on-one time with the other one, They're 13 months apart, so they are super close, but that also means a whole lot of WWE SmackDown in my fucking house. So, it's like, okay, well, you can go hang out at Mem's tonight and I'll spend time with this one. And then, your brother can go tomorrow night and I'll spend time with you,
I always told her she should be happy that she gets to go to my mother's because when I was growing up, I wasn't close to my mother. I didn't live with my mother really. I was raised by family friends, family here and there, friends. I didn't have the stability of a home. I was bouncing all the time. Never knew what stability was. And it's like, she gets that option I didn't get to with my mom because my mom and I were just always butting heads. And it's like, she was 16 when she had me. And it's like, we were honest about things in life. Like, she admitted when she got pregnant at 15, she didn't want me. She wanted an abortion. Okay. There for you in life. Abortion. Okay. Cope with that. And then you get told, well, you were doing too much, this, that, the third. Oh,
Are they,
my wife,
Justine? That's awesome.
should be good.
Yeah, my older daughters, they're 15 months apart. And then 15 years later, I had the boys 13 months apart. Yes, I was stupid. The girls were a lot easier to deal with, though, to be honest, because they were girls and they had each other. So it was like they'd sit in the room with the Polly Pockets and, doing art and crafts and stuff. And the boys, it's like, no. Especially with technology, like once they get on Fortnite, mm-mm.
Yep.
I was
I'm
just
over
saying
technology.
Yeah.
before I hit the live button. Before I hit the live button, I was yelling at the kids. I'm like, y'all cannot be fighting. Y'all shouldn't even turn on Fortnite before my live. You were supposed to wait till after. Because they're like, he killed me. Chase is coming after me. No one won't let me get this and that. It's like, bro. I mean, they are full on at each other's throats when they play Fortnite. It's like, I mean, I have heard a slip of a swear here and there because they're getting so mad. And I'm like, yo, somebody might get knocked out in all 5 seconds. I swear to God. Just shut the game off. Just shut it off and give yourself some freaking woosah time, before you go back to it. Or watch a YouTube video. Or you can play a different game like Rocket League or something that's not fucking Fortnite.
My biggest thing with kids online is my daughter with Roblox, and she'll sit there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I found this person and that we're playing this. Why?
Yeah.
Mommy, look at this. It's the lava. Why are you yelling? I could see what you're doing. Or she'll run in with one of the games, blaring it. What are you playing? Roblox. Can you turn it down? I don't need to hear it. But look, Mom, this person's doing this and they're doing this. And then you hear the yelling and it's like, holy hellza, ow.
Yep. Yeah,
it's like the online
they'll
gaming
get crazy.
That's her escape, but it's like, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, they get crazy about it because, like, I don't let them do any online play. So I think they get extra pissed because, like, my nephews and stuff, they do the online play, but they're older, And so they're like, can I play online so I can send friend requests to, like, Aiden or James or Anthony? And it's like, no, because once you're online, and I don't know how these video games work, but I do know the dangers of online, and I do know that there's a lot of chomos hibernating in them motherfuckers. I will be damned.
That's another thing.
If I turn around and find out that someone's messaging y'all.
No access to anybody online except for friends that we added for her, because we monitor everything online anymore. Like, I found people that were playing Roblox with her that were adults trying to message her, and I was like, there has to be a way to stop this, and she can't respond. We got it to now where she's
Amber?
supervised.
That's bad. I didn't know you could shop at Walmart on Roblox, bro. That's messed up. It's like, I hope you don't store your credit card on there. I seen this video. This mom, she was letting her daughter use her tablet. Her daughter's like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 maybe. She was, toddler. And she's like, I keep my credit card on my Amazon or whatever, but she never thought to lock it. And her daughter was trying to play some games or whatever. She got on fucking Amazon and ordered 3 cases of fucking Tweety Pops, the ice cream pops, from Amazon. So they went to her mother's house or whatever. And she goes, my mom was like, what'd you order all these for? And she's like, what the hell is it? So she opens the box and she goes, are you fucking kidding? So she was like, sat them on the floor with her daughter, and she was like, enjoy this, because I just spent $100, like buying fucking Tweety Pops, I was like, oh my God, I would die. No. Mm-mm. I keep my Cash App card on, like, my Amazon or even on the PlayStation or the Switches, and I keep it locked. Like, I don't trust that shit. My boys will be using that shit like, oh, I'm gonna order a game. No, we're not.
I do that for myself. I don't trust my cell phone. I leave it on in my
for
pocket.
anything.
Oh, I can't do that.
Exactly. I was gonna say I'm bad enough on it. Oh, think she booted herself out.
Yeah, we lost Marie.
I know. It was looking choppy, so it probably shut off on her, but she knows to click the link, I think, and come back in, right? Let me see. Okay. Thanks, April. It gets hacked all the time. Never ever bank info on it. Yeah, exactly, Amber. I wouldn't either. I'd be afraid because it's like, I mean, and you know how often kids are asking for V-Bucks or, money on Roblox and stuff. Like, on Fortnite, it happened to my niece. A guy pretended to be a teen. Her mom listened in and found out it was a 38-year-old man. Wow.
People are messed up.
They really are. That's insane.
Welcome
back.
It was a oopsie. I dropped my phone trying to grab something in front of me, and then my phone said, "Oh no, we're done with you."
Right. I was saying, it was like, I said, it looked a little choppy, so maybe it just cut off on her for a second.
It doesn't help when you get all the messages and people trying to phone call you, and you're just like, "Will you just?" Any other day, I'm not popular. What'd I do?
Right. It's only when you're busy that everybody wants to talk to you. That's
it's like, why can't they wait till I'm outside and they could be people with me outside? Don't come into O's bubble. This is O's time. This is O's bubble time. No bother the O. Stay out of the booth circle. Thank you. Come again.
Exactly. Oh yeah, definitely send it to me, Blaze. I'd love to see it. Yeah, I say that all the time. That's why I told my daughter before I went on stream, like we talked up until I came on backstage, and I was like, so I'm about to get on my live, so that means just for like 2 hours, don't call my phone because it will mute the stream and everything. So I was like, I will literally call you when I end at 3. And she's like, all right. And I was like, so that means don't call me though, it's just 2 hours. And she's like, I heard you, Mom. Yeah.
It's like all I'm doing is like, as we're doing this, I have my phone going off in my ear from people messaging, people trying to call me, other things going off. And I was like, since when did I become popular in one day?
Right.
I like whenever I'm not bothered. I like my isolation. I like staying in my bubble, away from the people world. Like anybody who knows me, if I had to go outside, I'd be like, I don't want to go out there. There's Homo sapiens out there. It's too peoply outside to deal with people.
You literally said that to me yesterday.
There's people outside to do it.
There's so many Homo sapiens out there that they scare me. Like somebody could walk in front of like my apartment and I'll be like, oh God, there's people out there. Why?
Like, you're in my space. Move.
And it was like,
go across the street.
So
what'd you say, Rockstar?
It was like 85 degrees yesterday. It was crazy. It was like a summer day here.
Right.
Hey, I was rocking it outside, enjoying this weather, looking like a MILF slut right there. I had a mom moment of like, my
just so you know,
out there.
People are gonna be out there, Marie, because it's fucking nice out.
Well, they could go some other direction. You see me, go that way. Don't
They're
follow
like,
my
excuse
bubble.
me, sir.
If you see a big
That's
bubble,
Marie's
run.
house. Walk around that, okay? Walk around that.
I'll just get some caution tape and make it look like a crime scene outside and put some
big ass orange cones and shit out there.
I need some chalk to make a body outline so it looks like a crime scene, so nobody will come near it. Then I'm ready.
There you go. It's like, come on, summertime. Try me now.
Oh my gosh. It's like, I like being outdoors, but I don't like the people. And it's like, when I'm out there, it's like, who's going to touch me out here by pressing against me? Like, hey, no, don't come here.
Right.
No. I want the 6 feet back. Give me a freaking pole. I will hit you with a 10-foot pole and be like, you are in my radius.
That's what I said too. That was the only thing I actually liked about going through the whole COVID thing was that the social distancing. I enjoyed
it, but I worked in it dealing with customers that would still come in the store, and it's like, no, COVID,
right?
Don't come in. Why are you people out here?
Right.
I would literally question people.
COVID got
like, I would literally look. I would go into my job at, like, I used to work Dollar General. I would go in early in the morning. And I'd see people coming near the store. I'd be like, why are you out here? I don't even want to be out here. I feel like I'm doing the Mist movie doing this shit.
Blaze said broomstick him.
Yep. You would too.
I'm not trustworthy with a broom. There's a problem. I get something pokey, I'm chasing somebody with that stick.
I was just gonna say I probably shouldn't have pinned Blaze's message. Just giving you ideas.
Yeah, COVID got scary.
I might consider all that.
Home, so
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Everywhere.
Yep.
I don't want to deal with the peoply people. Don't remind me they're peoply people out there, because that reminds me I'm peoply people, and that makes me a Homo sapien too. I'm done.
Facts, damn, you will fuck people.
That's right.
People are overrated these days. I don't care what anybody says. People are overrated. Socializing is not normal anymore.
Just having this time, like, honestly, that I've been focusing on my daughter has been so, like, well, not calming, but calmer, you know? Because I'm like, I deal with less people, you know? Like, I talk to certain survivors on a regular basis, you know? Like, they're like, I just needed somebody to vent to. I'm cool with that. But, like, dealing with a shit ton of people all the time, it gets overwhelming, you know? And I'm like,
it does,
already
because you
knew.
think you could try to multitask them all in.
Exactly. And I
You just
already
want to
know
help
how I
everyone.
am. So it's like, I can't deal with, like, any YouTube shit, you know, whether I'm dealing with drama or not. But with her being in the hospital, bro, I can't, because it's like, I have this mentality where, like, my mindset is like, I got to focus on one thing because I have a chaotic mind, right? And once I'm dealing with one thing, and it doesn't matter if it's on YouTube or with the kids or like a family issue, I'm like, that's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm concerned about, you know? And I'm like, my kid is literally in the fucking hospital, bro. So I kind of like need to, you know, I just don't have the mental capacity to deal with too many things at once. So, but it's been, you know, a lot easier to stay focused solely on her, you know, and deal with my day to day. But it still gets overwhelming because it's like, I want to do more, you know, to help, but it's like, I can't do more than I'm doing because I'm going to get overwhelmed. And I project that onto her, you know, like when we're talking and stuff. So then I overwhelm her. And, you know, she's always like, I don't want to hear about any of the decoying shit. I don't want to hear about anything to do with catching or any YouTube shit, you know. Um, I don't tell her about like any extra shit that's going on in the family, like nothing, because, you know, like my dad's boss, he's been working with this guy for the last 7 years, and the he just passed away, so now he only has the wife there or whatever. And so my dad, and that was literally like 2 days ago. And so my dad was like, oh, make sure you tell her, you know, that Bob passed and stuff. And I was like, I'm not telling her that while she's in the hospital. You know, I mean, we go there all the time. You know, they have like a pool and a lot of space to play outside. Like we use the go-karts and shit in the field that they have. So it's like, you know, we spend a lot of time there. And so she knows who he is. So I'm like, I don't want to work her up being in there. She's got to, you know, stay stress free, you know, and as you know, not
That's
in
the
a
best
stressful
to
headspace,
do.
you know.
It's best to let them be stress free, because it's like when I was younger getting mental help and I'm the psychiatric ward, it's like my family brought the stress in, causing me to have those rage outbursts, because it's like, oh, this is what's going on at home and this is what we're dealing with. This is what this person's doing. And it's like, I'm supposed to be fixing myself because you guys put me here because of a mental breakdown and because of the fact of finding out I was a cutter. And you're coming in here being like, oh, well, we got to reset how you're going to be living. We're not happy. We have to give up this space. This person's all upset because they have to do this, this, and this. This has to be changed. This has to be adjusted. And it's like, that's not helping in a psych ward. That's just adding more to the table.
Right.
Or my favorite thing that they kept that really stressed me out while I'm there. They would have me try to do family sessions with my mother.
Wow.
That was the worst thing to do, because my mother and I, like I said, we never really got along. We butted heads. We have gotten to physical fist fights.
Yeah.
And it was like bringing her in was like, well, I had you when I was young. When you were younger, I had this I wanted to do. I want to do this. You do this. You do that. And it's like,
but you chose to be a mom. I didn't choose that for you.
It's like, I love my mother. Don't get me wrong. I love my mother. We have been making amends and fixing things. Yeah, but it's like when you come at me like it's my fault because of the way things are. I didn't ask you to sit there and do the dirty duty with my daddy. You did the diddly dee. Yeah. That is your problem. Your mother convinced you to not get the sniff, sniff, cut, cut baby. And I'm here. And because you didn't want to be a parent yet, you go join the carnival. You get with my brother and sister's father. You make my
I see why you've been friends with her for so long.
I am a poop. Oh, we won't even get there. And it's like, has baby brother. I love my baby brother. Watch baby brother take asthma attack. Mom get worried about baby brother. Mother gets pregnant 2 years later in like 94, I think, with my sister. It's the daughter I want. You're just causing more trauma to me, woman. First you tell me I'm a wanted abortion, baby. Then you go join the carny carn. Then you have my adorable brother who almost dies in front of me. Then you get pregnant with the daughter you always wanted.
She's the type that can make a negative story hilarious.
I was just thinking the same thing. It's like, if you listen to what she's actually saying, it's like, oh my God. But
how can you pay attention to the actual words coming out though when she tells
I am the great distraction. I could turn anything on this. But it's like gets the perfect daughter she wanted now. But that daughter turns out to be more psychopathic than me. I'm the good daughter now. I'm the daughter that actually was there for mommy, not looking at mommy like, hey, mom, I need this. Mommy, look at me. I'm doing this in my life. Oh, I'm going to spend so much money on mommy to make me look good. And then there's me like, bitch, what are you trying to butter her up? She's already liked you. And it's like, now it's like my sister has gone a whole new direction. She left a good guy. Like, nobody's perfect in a marriage and all that. The dude's decent. I had no problem with him. I talked to him still. I still consider him my brother-in-law.
Right.
But she left for a dude that beats her. Left for a dude that doesn't give a fudge about her, cut her off from her own family. I'm her sister. And I'm not allowed to do anything to this SOB because now he's beating my sister, leaving marks on my sister, keeping her from her family. But I'm supposed to sit there and be okay with everything. That she went from being the best daughter to everybody's favorite in the family to oh shit, wrong kid to actually like. That's the fucked up one. Oh wait, where's the one that we put in the hospital so many times? She's the good one. That's the good one. You want that one. That one actually genuinely cares. It doesn't turn to you for like, mommy, I deserve this. No, I'm that one that's like, hi, remember me back here, the black sheep on the farm? I do love you for all the hate you still distilled on me. I still love you even though you were a slut too. I still love you for being the fact I was supposedly a whore when I was a virgin, but hey, it's okay. I was the bad kid. I was the one that was fucked up. But guess what? I'm doing better than my sister because I'm not stupid to follow those steps no more.
Right.
I didn't have to sit there and tell my mommy anymore. I wanted her approval to love me. We fixed our own way. I tried to be a good sister to my sister. I was there when she was overdosed in the hospital on life support. For her to still go back to her first husband that was beating her. But I was that sister that was like, you know what? I know mommy loves you, but guess what? I'm still going to come here and be by your side. I'm such a bad person in what my family says about things that I'm still sitting there like, hey, hello, the abortion's here. Prom night dumpster baby still sitting here. Like, I admit to my mom, I'll be like, you know what? I probably was adopted. And she's like, you're right. I was like, the prom night dumpster baby. You found me in the dumpster out back after prom night, right? And she's like, yeah. We're gonna
at
go
least
with
we
that.
can validate that, like, you don't have like all these people around you because you don't want these people around you, not because they don't like you as a person. Because I don't understand how anybody could not like you.
See, that's the thing.
I would,
That's
you
a
know,
hit miss thing
straight
with me.
laugh the
People
entire
love
time.
me. There's people that will love me because I'm random. Oh my God, am I too blunt? I will tell you right to your face on something. Like, say you were in front of me and I saw something wrong in your appearance, it'd be like, yo, will you fix yourself because something on you is looking ugly right now. Oh, somebody hit you. I got my bat. We're going swinging. I'm bisexual all day like my bat. We swing both ways, baby. Come on, let's go fight. Oh, you got problems? Let's go take it out on a tree. Oh shit, you're weird. Let's go upstairs and smoke a bowl or something in life. Oh man, you got a zit on your head. Can I pop it? Yo, you got mismatching socks. Let me go upstairs and go mix match my socks with you. We'll go out and look like weirdos together.
Right.
Oh shit. Like, I don't get it. Some people don't like the way because I'm loud sometimes. Like, yes, that is a burst of energy right now. Like right now, okay, I'm at a peak with my anxiety, so I'm full of energy. Nice. Everything's like not right. Plus, I did smoke a little bit. Hey, okay. It's like I'm the person. People have to really understand my sense of humor. Like I'm pretty bad with my humor because I go pretty low. I admit it. I call my boyfriend Gingy when he gets mad because he was born a ginger, and I'll be like, "Oh shit, Gingy's gonna snap. Gingy's snapping here." I'm terrible. I'll keep pushing and pushing, and he'll be like, "You know what? You're annoying me." Okay, so let's keep going. I've even popped in randomly on him and my daughter in the bathroom, just going, "What you doing?" I'm trying to go to the bathroom. I was bored. You want to talk? I'm bored. My daughter hates it. Mom, I'm trying to go to the bathroom. I'm bored. I want to talk. Don't you do this to me when I'm in the bathroom? Time to return the favor.
Right.
It's like,
that's their favorite pastime.
It's like I enjoy my own company sometimes. And I just don't get why some people think, oh, no, we don't like her because of this. And it's like, I liked me because the me in the mirror said I was awesome today.
You're awesome.
Shit. She is.
Like I like to make people laugh and smile. It's like I can have all this shit going on and I'm still gonna look at you and be like, I'm gonna make your day. I'm gonna do something.
I definitely could have used this today for sure. And to think I literally almost, like, I originally, when Rockstar asked, he's like, I got somebody who wants to come and tell their story ASAP. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, whenever you're ready, no rush, because he knows that my daughter's in the hospital for her liver. So I was like hesitant to even do it because I'm like, I'm just going to wait till she comes home, whatever. And then, as I was talking to her, she's like, but it might be good for you too, and I'm like, true. So I'm like, I'll do it. And, it's like now I'm like, well, now I'm extra glad I did because, got a laugh out of it while you get to get your story out,
Well, at least it's like everybody deserves a smile. Everybody deserves a laugh. It's like, okay, my trauma is my funny moment for the moment because, I'm going to find something funny about it. I'm going to nitpick at something. I'm going to look at things and I'll be like, this could turn into a really bad situation or it could become a comedy reality show. Which one will it be? Ooh. And I'll usually just end up making things a comedian.
I was going to say comedy's always better.
I can't even figure out myself sometimes because it's like, oh, you just did that. Why'd you do that? Who the hell
better than
does
sulking about it, though. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest, otherwise you just stay in your head all the time. You know what I mean? And that's why I say I crack jokes about my shit all the time because it's like, it makes it easier to deal with.
To lick somebody. You don't want to get in your head like I do when you want to question to go up to somebody and just lick them.
Yeah.
My daughter got a cup for her birthday last year that said, I licked it, so it's mine. Don't touch my cup. So I always wait till she's not paying attention and I'll walk in her room when she's on her tablet or whatever and I'll lick her. Mom, that's disgusting. I'm like, I licked it. It's mine. And she just looks at me. She's like, you're so gross. And it's like, well, I could make this more of a gross scene to let you know you came out my lady giblet. Mommy, we don't need to say giblet. Why? Just say something different. What's wrong with giblet?
Right.
Your lady parts, your coochie, your cookie, your taco, your beef meat. What more do you want me to say, kid? Coochie. Giblets.
Oh.
Like, she can't handle it, and she'll sit there and question me on that.
I gotta go off camera.
I'm broken for the moment.
It's okay. Come back, Jolly Green Giant. Come back. I already missed your face. Oh, there it is. You're so beautiful. Oh, stop it. Am I making you blush? Am I? It's okay. It's okay.
Rockstar's like, all right, I'm gonna stay off camera now. He's trying so hard not to laugh.
You.
He's like, so much for this serious stream. Oh, that's hilarious.
Our son's in Israel.
That is too funny.
I can't help it. I like to sit there and make some people laugh about the stupid shit.
Yep. That is true, Don Diva. You definitely got to focus on yourself before you can help others, for sure. But it's the more you work on yourself, the more help you can be to others. You know what I mean?
All right,
I'd rather just make that a fun time of laughter. No, he's not. All right. The quick question is, are you really okay now? Think about that. It's just not too hard now. Don't think too hard now.
Blaze, I think it was a mixture of both. He was probably gonna blaze up, but he was also could not stop himself from laughing.
That's true.
He's like, no, that's true. It was both.
I'll admit that. Yep.
It's not my fault. I make it chuckle. Did you get some muscle when you were chuckling? Did you hit that gut muscle? Like, damn, this bitch got me. She got the core. Work on the core abs.
Over here.
It's like my cheeks and my stomach's hurting now. Thanks.
I'm that ray of sunshine everybody needed for that laugh. You get my tragedy, now you get the fun side of like, wow, this is a roller coaster.
Good example though, for sure.
It's like you take the bad and turn it into the good.
You were all worried all week for nothing. See?
Yes,
No, I'm still sweaty. Still so sweaty.
But like when it just coming out, it was natural. You did amazing.
Right. Absolutely. I agree.
It just sucks, the whole crying thing. I always detested crying, and it's like, nope, it happened.
Right.
You have to though.
Bastards.
Yeah. But it's good though, even if you gotta cry, you just get it out. You know what I mean? It's harder to hold it in, because then you're suppressing more than just that emotion. You know what I mean? The feeling that made you have that emotion, So,
it's like when I sat there, I started crying.
Cry.
It always made me wonder why I would cry so much in life. And it's like at night, mainly, I would always be crying. And it's like, ooh, emotions are surfacing. What the hell is surfacing? And it's like getting all those stories about my past. And it's like, oh, I'm crying for an inner child. The child that never healed and got protected or the help she needed. And it's like, she's crying. She wants to be out. She wants to scream to be heard. And it's like the emotion from it sitting there. It's like, you can't sit there and explain to a 7-month-old and to a 2.5-year-old what they did so wrong that they have to feel that way. And then you're crying because they felt weak, unprotected, unloved, nothing. And it's like, I cried for that person who didn't deserve all that in life. And it's like, I'm releasing all that pain that part of me was feeling. And it's like, I'm now cherishing the person I am more today because I'm more there for people physically and mentally more than I used to. It's like, I'm usually a homebody, as I like to be in my bubble. But it's like, I push myself more to actually start talking more to people again. I'm conversating more with people. I'm not isolating or pulling away a distance. I'm actually going to the people I know I could depend on, be there as just the ear of non-judgment. And it's like, I get that now. I'm going to cherish the ones I have now compared to what resentment and hate I could have had towards so many people in the past. It's like, it's done. It's over with. I can't change it, but it doesn't define me, but it made me who I am. I'm able to sit there and be like, I survived this. I got through this. I figured out how to get above. And it's like,
it's not easy. So when you can get above it all, you know, it's definitely a moment to relish in, for sure.
Exactly. You start to appreciate who you are more, be like, you're not so weak. You're actually stronger than you think, because it's like you went through what could have killed anybody.
Yep.
Because some people would have just gave up, and it's like, survived choking as a baby. I choked on cigarette butts to where I was dead for a bit. I survived abuse from foster care, abuse throughout family, mentally, physically, and verbally. Went through the whole molestation, survived that. Went through bouncing in life, wondering where I belonged, and still survived that, to have nothing, to have what I have today. I have 5 beautiful kids, 3 boys, 2 girls, all so amazing.
Right.
I have a fiance I've known since, oh my God, like, I think he was 12 when we.
Yeah. Oh, nice. That's awesome.
On here.
Gonna say, there you go.
But it's like, I don't have that bad past no more. I moved on to a better future, got rid of the toxic, forgave those who did me dirty, started seeking the help to work on myself, fix me, work on me. And it's like, now the progress within 2 years, I've seen it in myself. It's amazing. It's like, I went from being somebody who wouldn't talk to even a therapist about one word, to I spilled my guts to my therapist, and she sat there and she reminded me, she's like, you know, you're really strong. I can't believe what you went through. This was like, I went into detail on stuff, and it's like, she sat there and she always tells me the progress I made from the first day to where it was like, here's my name, this is what I'm diagnosed, and this is what I think is wrong with me, to I'm opening up. I'm getting encouragement because I'm making the steps in the process I needed to. When I was wanting to get off the medication for my mental illnesses, I talked to her about it, and I was like, I feel like I don't want to be on these meds, because I could find different ways to cope with things healthier than being on a medication where it's like, I'm not there. My daughter needs me, but I'm staying off of the space. I'm falling asleep or something. Yeah. It's like, I went back to smoking my stuff like I usually do. After I got fired from my job, I started focusing more on my daughter, working on my son, and working on myself. And it's like, I took on a lot of things, but found a way to make a balance for it to work for me, to continue to better myself for them, and continue to better my kids for their future. It's like a small step process of doing for them and myself. But now I've come to terms with, I'm not who I used to be. I could do better. I could be better. Right. I don't have to let that stuff sit there and torment me for the rest of my life thinking it's my fault. It's not my fault.
Yep. Like they say, we can't choose what happens to us, but we can choose how we react to it. So
exactly.
You know. Yeah, as Rockstar said, thank you guys all for coming. We appreciate it for sure. Definitely was a good stream for sure.
Well, at least it was interesting for me to sit there and make sure I got some laughs out of this. I got some laughs out of this. Oh yeah.
Right. It's better to leave with a smile, you know?
Exactly.
Like the whole thing. Every single predator that gets caught should have to watch her story.
Right.
You just there's so much more to it. That's why I do this. There's so much more to it. This is
it's like they don't understand. They're literally destroying a person's mentality about themselves. They make them feel disgusting to look at themselves in a mirror. Some end up turning to drugs because it's the only way to sit there and numb that pain. Some people drinking, some people just end it, and it's like the damage it does is horrible. And it's like, for years I always felt so uncomfortable in my skin. I couldn't look at myself. I couldn't stand myself. Like, I'm still working on it. I'm still working on becoming comfortable with my own body. But it's like I'm making slow progress. It's like yesterday I actually wore something that was a little bit skin revealing. I was like, I'm comfortable enough to sit there and look at myself finally in this outfit. And it was like, damn, I feel like a MILF.
Agreed, Amber. I wish they would too.
True, especially here in Luzerne County. She's like Lackawanna County, but yeah.
Yeah, because I noticed that there's a lot of like, from even just the people that we've spoken to behind the scenes, it's like the shit that they go through out there is ridiculous,
Everybody goes through different types of molestation, but it's still, that damage is there. And it's like,
I just saying too, though, like I feel like out there in PA, like they don't offer as much for help. Whether it's therapeutic wise or any type of assistance. I mean, they should be setting people up with victim witness advocates. They should be setting people up with people who could advocate for the kids, and I mean all sorts of shit that they just don't do. They don't. That, or it's a process to get to that point, and it shouldn't be that difficult to seek fucking help.
The sad thing is, like, most victims, when I was younger as a victim, I had to do a polygraph. And when it came to those people being brought, one was dropped because the person lawyered up and made up a bullshit lie about me because my father was an asshole. And the other person fled to Jersey after I already did my polygraph. And I was like, both times I told the truth. It shows it. Why aren't you seeking to go do something? I'm like, the evidence is obviously right there. I'm admitting and telling you the story to just be swept under the rug. And it was like, I was 14 and 15 years old. And you're sweeping what happened to me like it was nothing. And I felt so much resentment towards the system. I was like, this is ridiculous that I finally did something, went out, admitted what happened to me to two people who told my mom because I was afraid to tell her about the second time. Right. And it's like, I seek the help from my justice system, the police, and they fucked me over. And I felt there was no justice going to be served. And then it's like, I won't tell people online my father's name, but people who talk to me, I tell them who my father is because I see they're on his Facebook. And I'll be like, you don't want to be friends with him. And then they'll be like, yeah, he spoke with me. He is a bit creepy. And it's like, you have no idea how bad he is. It's like, I tell them, like, that man took away what should have been my pure innocence. Gone.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's the worst part of it is they take, our innocence, but they also take our voices, and
exactly. Like, I was terrified after what he did, but I told my mom, and my mom removed me with his brother out of the house because my uncle found out, and his brother was pissed. So him and my mother showed up, got me out of the house, and then it's like, I wasn't far from my father's home still. I was going to Myers High School up here, and my father lived right up the road around the corner from us. And I was very uncomfortable being in the area, but I had to go to school.
Yep.
And it was like every time I'd step out my door, I was always afraid to go near the school and see him. And it's like, it was like, nah. And it's like, now it's like very close friends. I tell them who he is. And I was like, you don't want to be associated with him. Like, there's people that even went to school with him that were like, he did always give off these vibes. And it's like, yeah, well, try being the spawn of what he produced. You don't want to be related to that because it just makes you feel even more gross because that's your DNA that does that to you.
Right. Thanks, guys. Rockstar with the black eyes. Oh, I love you.
He knows my soul too well.
I love it. I'm like, let's get blue hearts in chat for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. He's like, ding, 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 ding.
Oh, I missed it.
She's reading my soul.
You're good. I kind of honestly, I automatically assumed you're gonna post black hearts because it's your thing, so it's like your signature. You know,
Yeah,
I expect that to come out. He's like, wait, let me type in some blue hearts.
No, I got this. I have to make up.
He's like, let me find the blue hearts.
Steve, I do have a lot more heartache too, but that's another thing in the future, maybe.
You're awesome.
I want more black hearts. Give me the black hearts. Or better yet, give me some green ones too. Throw some greens in there too. We need some green.
she's like, I like green. Let's do green. All right. Let's get some green ones.
Marie, I don't know if you could see the comments, but after this is over, go back and read the comments. Like, you'll really appreciate it.
Oh, I will be. Don't worry.
I appreciate everybody so much.
If chat doesn't stay up automatically, it'll be up in like an hour or two. They usually YouTube sometimes either takes it down immediately and puts them back up, but sometimes it'll just stay up. So, but well, you guys, I got what this is what Fortnite does. But I gotta end so my daughter can call me. I told her she could call at 3. Oh, look at you with the blue hearts, Rockstar. So yeah, I'm gonna end so I can answer her call when she calls me in 2 minutes here, and then anytime you want to come back up, if you have more you want to share, just let us know. You have the group message with us too, so you're always more than welcome to come back up here. But I appreciate you.
Maybe there will be a future to come back and I'll make more laughs. I'm sure I probably have more hidden stories to share, but we'll make them extra fun.
Right.
I appreciate you both very much. Thank you, Jules.
I appreciate you. Of course. Absolutely. Absolutely. I know I was going to say now I'm posting all the green ones for you.
I love it.
Thank you, Justine. Thank you guys, all of you guys, for coming in chat. Oh, okay. Well, there you go, boys. Now you'll be able to go live too. Sorry. But I appreciate you guys, all of you, and Marie and Rockstar. I will chat with you guys later on. I appreciate you guys. I can't even do a whole heart because I'm doing my hand. I'm not holding my phone in my hand. Yeah, right. You gotta have a heart for me. Fortnite. All right. Thank you, you guys. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.